Good morning, boys and girls. And guess what? We're doing math. So this week, math is about using shapes. But we're going to look into the environment. And how do I find shapes in the environment? Well, let's look at the buildings. That was a study we did back in October. Let's look at the post office. If you've noticed, the post office here, right up here, has a circle, right? But the circle is inside of a triangle. And if I look at the doors and the handles of the door, and even the marks on the top, they're all shaped like rectangles. And I have to say, honestly, the truth, this is a very good example of what you can find. Like, look at those windows. The shape of the window inside is squares. So you can find many shapes. Look at the back doors for the post office. They have circle windows and rectangle red doors. This wagon, that's a nice one. Guess what? It's a shape of a trapezoid upside down. I didn't even know that either. We also have rectangles here. So when you're looking at the environment, we're looking at buildings. Try to find something within your house. Find something within your school or any building that you pass by. Try to see if you can find some shapes. But in addition to that, we have something that I call tessellations. And you're going to say, like, what? What is that, Mr. Rodriguez? Okay, let me explain to you. You see these designs? These are designs to cover with the shapes that you have been learning. And now I'm going to incline my camera so that you can see what I'm talking about. I'm going to bring the bin again from the classroom. And I'm going to cover the shapes that I have in this bin with the shape that I have in its color. Okay? So the yellow ones are hexagons. So I'm going to put the hexagons right over these yellow. Okay? And once I do, you can continue with the next color. Well, the next color I see is red, and they're trapezoids. So I'm going to take out the red trapezoids and take them out and put them in here. Now, I think, if I'm not mistaken, I did give you some of my own shapes a while ago back in September. You need to find that red basket I gave you and start looking for those shapes. All right? Because this is going to help you do what is called tessellations. So we're continuing on this side to add the trapezoids. The trapezoids are not a very common shape that we see unless it's something like what we saw in the post office on that little cart where they take all the heavy mail. Okay? So I might have given you the plastic ones or probably some other kind of shapes, but you should have them in the red basket. Now the next one I'm going to show you is what you call the diamond, and I call it a rhombus. So I'm going to put them in here because they go in between, and I'm going to continue to cover as much as I can those that are here. And they're not actually in everywhere exactly where the other ones are. They actually are in different places. Okay? And hopefully I'm on my last one. Yes. So the last shape I should be doing here is the triangle. And the triangle is green. And what we're doing here is covering the image or the tessellation that is here. Okay? We put them all together, and it's going to look like a very nice puzzle. I don't know if you ever worked with puzzles at home. Puzzles help you focus. They help you find solutions in the tranquility of just doing the images. And you can actually do this kind of activity sort of at the same way if it was like doing puzzles. So I'm almost done with my image, and I was about to say I was done until I saw these last two here. So now it is finished. This image is completely covered with all of those shapes that you and I were talking about. Another thing that you should be practicing, and this is just, as for practice for you to improve, is for you to learn how to identify shapes and describe it. So the first one we're going to do is triangle. A triangle has 1, 2, 3 corners. It has 1, 2, 3 sides. That's what makes it a triangle, because it has 3 sides, 3 corners, and 3 angles. That's what makes this a triangle. Okay? Now, let's go to the ones that have 4. Let's start with this one, the square. 1, 2, 3, 4. To describe the square has 4 sides. It has 4 corners. 1, 2, 3, 4. It also has 4 angles. This is why it is a square. But specifically why it's a square, all sides are equally the same. That's what makes it a square. Because if I bring this one over, they're not the same. And they do have 4. Look, 1, 2, 3, 4 sides. 4 sides, 4 corners, 4 angles. A trapezoid is belonging to a family just like the square does, the quadrants. And these are quadrants because they belong to the 4 sides, 4 corners, and 4 angles. But this trapezoid is different because all of their sides are completely different. Not one of them is the same. If I go to the rhombus, it looks like if it was a square, but all of the sides tend to tilt to the side. So this could be a rhombus, and this could be a parallelogram. Looks like a rhombus, but they're not. This is what you call a diamond, and another word for the diamond is rhombus. This is a parallelogram, and it goes like this. It also has 4 sides, but all 4 sides are different angles. Same here. They don't look the same. Finally, the hexagon. This hexagon has to be a hexagon because it has 6 sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It also has 6 corners. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It has 6 angles. And because it has 6, that's what makes it become a hexagon. Remember, smart is not something you are. Smart is something you get.